Hello and welcome to my Buster Blader Blue Eyes deck profile. Um, this is a little new, right? I've played Buster Blader before. I haven't played the new Blue Eyes. You know, I kind of just threw this together, kind of see what works. So I don't really know how to play this deck, but I've played test hands, so I'm pretty sure I have a good grasp of the deck. But to really like play it like I play my Cyber Dragon, Cyber Darks, probably not as much. But I think I do have the bases. I feel like it's a pretty easy deck, and also fuck yummy, fuck, I don't know, I just think people are just playing it too much. That's why people think it's the meta. Moving on, main deck. This is a 43 card main deck. Your normal. We're gonna put this into packages, so make it a little easier on us. The basic blue eyes package: two blue eyes, 3 sage, 3 maiden. My goodness, the glare is really bad. 1 Neo Kaiser Seahorse, 1 Master Eyes of Blue, 1 Jet Dragon. Pretty normal, basic stuff. 1 second, I'm gonna fix this glare real quick. Bam, that's the best I could do for now. Then we got 1 Mausoleum as the brick, one of the bricks for Blue Eyes. I think if you open it, it's not that bad. 1 Roar, I cut it down to 1. I actually had a 2 for a bit. I added something in place of stuff, so I have the entire deck, but it's just not 100% completed yet. 1 Blue Eyes Roar, 3 Wishes. People play this at 2. Don't know why. It's really good to see if you have it. It's really good to see, right? Oh, it's searchable. I don't care. I don't care. Sage pretty much searches all your level 1s, but you play it at 3, right? 1 True Light, 1 Majesty. I haven't seen Neo Kaiser Seahorse come up. It does have a pretty interesting effect. Master with Eyes of Blue actually helps a lot from my play testing, so I think it's pretty cool. And I always gotta flex that my ultimate rare OTS pack, Blue Sage with Blue Eyes, Sage with Eyes of Blue. Almost embarrassed myself right there. That's pretty much it for the Blue Eyes package. Pretty basic. Everybody knows it. Moving on to the next package, we got our Buster Blader package. I put 2 Whelp, 1 Destruction Sword, another Destruction Sword, Buster Blader, the Destruction Sword Swordsman, and a Buster Blader, one Prologue of the Destruction Swordman, 1 Destruction Sword of Memories. So I play this at 2 because I don't always like seeing it in my hand. I'm okay to search it, but like I don't want to see it as often to where it clogs up my hand. Because I can see 2 of those in my hand. I'm like, oh, what about the rest of my stuff, right? You could discard it off for wishes. You could do all this other stuff. But I think 2 just keeps it consistent and keeps the deck nice and balanced. This is a really hard brick unless you have wishes in it. Wishes? Oh my goodness, I think I have a lisp or a speech impediment. This is basically your extra deck lockdown. So turn 2, you basically just... I'm just kidding. You don't suck at like Infinity. You actually equip this from your graveyard off of Buster Dragon's effect. Equipped it off of to your Buster Blader Fusion monster, and your opponent's locked out of the extra deck. It's really good. I play basically two Buster Bladers, because just in case you open him and you have one of your Destruction Swords in your hands, you can send it to the graveyard, summon a Buster Blader. It's good. And in case if you open, especially if you open this guy or you open Buster Blader, you need them in the graveyard. So this is really good at getting your Destruction Sword sent to the graveyard, and your Buster Blader, that's kind of like a good luck. Send it with your wishes. Prologue, it basically gets you your Synchro Monster out for cost. You send a Buster Blader and a Destruction Sword card, which is usually one of these 2 bad boys right here, and a Destruction Sword of Memories. And if you already have all that set up in the graveyard, you can send this, or you send this off the Link Monster, or like I said, discard it off of wishes. It's just pretty awkward to have 1 and then not be able to get into your plays, because 1, you don't have wishes. 2, you don't have anything. You can't really discard anything off of. You can't discard your Buster Blader off of your memories. So that's pretty much your Buster Blader package. This fusion summons from your graveyard. So send for cost, Buster Blader this, then chain 2 this, fusion summon, boom, you get your lockout. And then if you have him in the graveyard, you can lock your opponent out from the extra deck. It's pretty much like a control shutdown deck, because the Buster Dragon turns all your opponent's monsters into dragons, and the Buster Blader says, oh, you have dragons on the field? Change them to the defense position for me, and now they can activate their effects. Have a good day. That's basically what it is. So you already know that the what was it? That Blue Eyes runs a lot of hand traps, and again, it's not 100% complete. So I might be short a couple, but you know, 3 Imperm. I forgot to do monsters first. 1 Ghost Ogre Rabbit, 1 Ghost Bell Haunted Mansion. Oh my lord. 2 Nib, 2 Veiler, 3 Ash. That's your hand trap lineup. Dominus Purge, expensive. I'm broke. Droll is supposed to be in here somewhere. I think replacing one of the Veilers, this Ghost Ogre, and this Ghost Haunted Mansion. And then I think 2 Ghost Bell Haunted Mansion here, because I think it's a pretty solid hand trap for this format, especially against Yummy. Again, fuck Yummy. I think it's just overhyped. I can definitely take it down with my Cyber Darks. And again, Blue Eyes has been a meta for a bit, and it's become one of the top rogue decks I heard. So again, not 100% worried when I'm going to my locals. Maybe I'll get my butt whooped and I'll be humbled, but for now, no. This is pretty much it, for the hand traps, Bill comes in. And then we got our staples, 1 talents for consistency, 1 prosperity also for consistency. I wouldn't exactly can tell you what to banish off a pot of prosperity, but I usually only do 3, so I can look at the top 3 cards of my deck, because that's something that actually kind of hurts this deck, is its consistency. If you open up a whole bunch of hand traps and you don't have a effect veiler or a droll to help start your combos, you're kind of cooked. And if you don't have the right cards to go inside your Blue Eye stuff and you only have Buster Blader stuff, you're kind of cooked. Well, you're not really. It's going to be a little harder. You could probably get to turn 3 with just your Buster Blader stuff if you play your cards right, and you'll have a whole bunch of hand traps most likely, or bricks. So, you kind of don't know where you're going to go with it. So it's definitely good to have these, especially if your opponent interrupts you and if you just need extra, stuff. 1 Call by the Grave, 1 Crossout. Since you play a lot of hand traps, I think Crossout would be definitely very useful inside this deck. Any hand trap that goes up against you, just cross out it if it's in your hand, which I think is pretty solid, 2-dimensional barrier. What? In the main deck? Yes, in the main deck. I don't have my 2 purges. This would have been purges, but I'm broke. So 2-dimensional barrier, very simple, very light, very easy. I might be thinking of putting the Prius map for a more added consistency, and that might replace the Pot of Prosperity in maybe a hand trap or 2. Not 100% sure, but like I like to go in reverse order for my or how I normally set up my extra deck is like Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, Link. I think that's all the extra deck archetypes. I can't remember. I like to go in opposite order to help better explain it. 2 blue, 2 Spirit with Eyes of Blue. So I think I play 1 inside my Neuron deck. Well, not my Neuron deck, the deck on Neuron. I'll pop it up in 3, 2, 1, bam, and then 3, 2, 1, and it's gone. That's the completed deck. So with this, I'm going like some of these are gonna be replaced by stuff, but I got 2 Spirit of Eyes of Blue for right now, 2 Heretic Seal, 1 Protector Whelp of Destruction Swordsman. This is really important. Not really important, because you don't have to get your extra lock to the graveyard, but basically when it's link summoned, send 1 Destruction Sword Buster Blader thing from your deck to the graveyard. You're gonna have to read it yourself, because I'm not reading it right now. It's late at night. You're going 1 Indigo Eyes Silver Dragon. Never have I ever gone into this card. Never. I'm really just having this just to fill up the extra deck, so when the new cards come in, I can just throw them inside the deck. I can just throw them in instead of having to search through all my card sleeves. I literally bought card sleeves for this deck, but then I realized that there's black on facing this way, so I was like, dang. So I just re-sleeved my Cyber Dragon Cyber Dark deck, right? with those ones, since, you know, light and dark, cyber dragon, cyber dark, you know, I'm not going to get too much into it because we got to focus on blue eyes. This is a blue eyes video. One Buster Dragon. You summon this off the trap. Turns your opponent's monsters into dragons. It's pretty good. You know, it helps your fusion. And I've actually fell in love with these clear, standard size dragon card sleeves. I might get some Japanese because I just love the way they feel. Very clean. One Light Swarm Dragon, you know, your normal blue eyes stuff. Well, not completely because I don't have everything. But you got two blue eye spirit dragons, one blue eyes ultimate spirit dragon, one Stardust. I'm not reading that. One Neo blue eyes, you know, to equip off of wishes, and if you need to summon your blue eyes tyrant, and then your blue eyes Buster Blader. I'm gonna explain more of the Buster Blader stuff in this video because you kind of like, it's kind of like, what the heck? What is this, right? So basically, your opponent's dragon monsters change the defense. They can't activate their effects and gains 1,000 for on the field and graveyard of your opponent's dragon monsters, which is really good because if you go against blue eyes, technically a mirror match, shut them down. They have play best shows, shut them down. They basically just can't activate their effects. I believe it's also in hand. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not reading it because the texts are small and it's dark in my room right now, except for this one light. That's pretty much the extra deck, right? Maybe I'll attach a test hand to this because you know, test hands look pretty good with this, but again, this is a skeleton for you to use. Hello and welcome to my test hand portion of the video. I'm gonna start doing that for my videos, that I'm gonna do test hands in the deck profile, because I'll do a short, simple, sweet and easy deck profile, then a combo hand, right, or a test hand, and then the next video is probably going to be like an in-depth, and then a combo. I think that's good. But another deck that's coming soon, I also got this for my blue eyes deck, but I realized double sleeving them, they won't fit. It's going to be a Drac deck. This one's like not really, I can't really say it's like 100% mine because I looked at two deck profiles and then kind of started experimenting with it and taking inspiration from their videos. So, but on to the combo hand after that minute-long gap. Oh my lord! I'm usually standing, right? I'm actually standing usually the entire time of doing these videos. And I only sit down when I start editing or when I'm shuffling and messing with my cards. But now, let's start. I'll also show you this crazy hand that I got during one of my test hands that I was doing on my own. Like, boom! Okay, 3, 2, 1, gone. But we're gonna have what we work with this time. Because I could always just insert them. Be like, this is totally the hand that I got. I feel like that'd be funny. You got one Sage, one Ash Blossom, one Effect Veiler, one Pot of Prosperity, one Infinite Impermanence. I think this is a pretty balanced hand. You got something to searchy stuff. You got two. This can help with your combos, actually. 2, but 3 hand traps, basically. I think it's a decent hand. I don't like seeing a whole bunch of hand traps in my hand. Well, I'm not really used to it because I play Cyber Dragon, Cyber Dark primarily, but let's see how this goes, because then we'll start with Pot of Prosperity. We'll banish 1 Eyes of Blue, 1 Hermetic Seals, and 1 Indigo. Banish them face down. The top 3 cards of my deck. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I would not say my favorite thing to look at, but I guess we could always start. So what I'm thinking here, right, is we could do this and try to discard this off so we can get the extra clock, or we can probably do a Sage with Eyes of Blue and get Blue Eyes Jet Dragon out. I think I like the idea of Jet Dragon. I don't know why people don't play Jet Dragon in the main deck. It's actually, I think it's pretty useful. But now, with our beautiful Platinum Rare and our Ultimate Rare, gonna normal summon Sage with Eyes of Blue. Blue's effect, we're gonna grab Maiden. because we can get, since Buster Whelp is a light tuner, light level 1 tuner, we can search it off of wishes, and we can also search it off of sage. So now we're gonna go link 1, sage with eyes of blue, spirit, and then we're gonna go spirit's effect. We're gonna grab mausoleum, activate mausoleum. Mausoleum's effect, target spirit with eyes of blue, dump blue eyes. This is kind of what I've learned through some combo videos, trying to, you know, figure out what they do. Then we're gonna activate Maiden's effect. We're gonna set face up, true light. It looks like I'm going through this very smoothly because, one, I did read the effects off camera, and I've done a whole bunch of test hands, like days and days of test hands to see how they work, and watching videos. So don't quote me on anything, especially misplay wise. We're going to activate True Light's effect. True Light. We're gonna set wishes. Now that I think about it, it would have been smarter trying to get my lockout. So right now, wait, actually, give me 1 second to think about my decision. So we're going to tribute this, activating its effect to tribute itself. Summon Blue Eyes, activate Maiden, get Maiden out on the field. Then we're going to activate Sage in hand. We're going to target Maiden, Maiden's effect. We're going to summon out Sage with Eyes of Blue from our graveyard. Then send Maiden a white and the Sage to get out Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. We're going to go face up defense. So we can synchro off Blue Eyes Jet and Eyes with Blue. Yeah, we can do that. With Sage with Eyes of Blue and Blue Eyes Jet, since when something gets destroyed, it can summon itself back, so we don't have to worry about keeping it on the field. Get Blue Eyes Spirit. Then we can, since we have Effect Veiler, we don't really have to worry about impermanence. But what I would do is I would Blue Eyes Spirit, send Effect Veiler, since level 1 Light Tuner, got plenty of those, and we already got infinite impermanence, and they don't know we got that. We just revealed that we had Effect Veiler in our hand. They're like, oh, they dumped the Effect Veiler. What are they going to do? We're going to do this, pal. We're going to go Wishes, discard Veiler, grab Buster Whelp, if I can find it. Grab Buster Whelp, and then with our additional normal stuff, you can also go Master with Eyes of Blue and then get like a Maiden or Sage back to your hand, but you already use Sage effect, you already use Maiden, so it doesn't really matter to get them into your hand. So you normal summon Buster Whelp's effect. You're gonna grab Destruction Sword, Prologue of the Destruction Sword. I had to read that for a second. Prologue of the Destruction Sword, and we're just immediately gonna set it because we don't really care. We're gonna go, because you can go link to Seals or link to Protector Whelp and get your extra lockout to the graveyard. But to me personally, I don't need it right now because you could always do that with Canine, but that's against Canine. But really, they can just do that turn 1, so it wouldn't really matter. Against Yummy, turn 1, that's actually pretty useful for them. But also, if you get your lockout turn 1, it's like, that's impossible. But you know, I like building boards, then ending on half boards and building them turn 2, because they also have interruption and it's their turn, so they have a lot of priority. Synchro summon into Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, right? And then usually I end off here with my Cyber Dragon stuff, but here's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna go to turn 2. What? So honestly, I don't know the exact times you should be like tagging these guys out, but I suggest standby phase, prologue of the destruction sword, sending, where is it? We're going to send, personally, I would do Buster Blader, but I'm going to do Buster Blader, the Destruction Swordsman. Graveyard is out the frame. Graveyard of Destruction Swordsman. I'm just going to leave it out of the frame. Of just Buster Blader, the Destruction Swordsman. And, oh, I forgot. I need to send the trap. This is important, guys. This one's really important. We're gonna send our Destruction Sword of Memories. That's just cost, so that's Chainlink 1. Then you can Chainlink 2, Destruction Sword of Memories. Uh-oh, dropped a card. Banish it. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2's in the graveyard. And then this is where I would either tag out both of these guys or I tag out one, right? Which is what we're going to do here because Graveyard Negate could be useful against Yummy, right? Again, that's why I don't think they're much of a worry because people have, you know, they have ways to get around it. People are just losers. I'm just kidding. I'm just tweaking out right now. Get Spirit out for a negate. And then you're going to banish your Buster Blader Destruction Swordman, becomes Buster Blader in the graveyard, and your Whelp, so you don't lose any of your Blue Eye stuff, because it's really important to keep Blue Eyes in the graveyard, so you can use them. With that, you're going to Fusion Summon into your Buster Man, forgot his name for a second. Since you have 3 cards on the field, you can always go Buster here, Buster Dragon here. Because at the end of your next turn, that's when Prologue just destroys him. And you can't Monster Reborn him or anything because he wasn't properly summoned. But again, you're usually, after you lock them out, they're like, oh, man, I give up. Because I played Buster Blader against people once, and it's a dangerous, what is it called? It's definitely a dangerous setup against people, so it's just dangerous. People kind of give up after getting locked out. Same thing when I Clockwork Knight and it shuts down one of their engines, or Contact Fusion. It's similar to that. They're like, oh man. But boom, 4 things. You got a Graveyard Negate if you need it. Omni Negate. Your opponent can't activate any of the effects. So if they attempt to activate an effect so they can do something, it doesn't really matter. You can negate it if you want. You can always tag out your other spirit to get into Cipher, right? You can Light Dragon or something else. I don't know. Any other Blue Eyes cards you want to tag out with this spirit. You have 2 unknown cards in your hand, which is an Ash Blossom and an Infinite Impermanence. So really strong. It's a really strong deck. Hope you guys enjoyed. You know, peace and love of the planet Earth. Definitely, you know, hopefully you watched all the way. Love you guys. Goodbye. Have a good nice day. You know, happy dueling.